Aku Rull MacKenzie. Ini dunia aku. Tempat di mana warna bertembung dengan teknologi. Dan setiap kanvas adalah kod rahsia jiwa.
Welcome to the deep dive. So imagine walking into a high-stakes auction to bid on, like, a vintage Ferrari.
Right, just a totally normal weekend activity for you, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. But right next to the luxury cars, you see these massive, just radically textured, fine art canvases up for sale.
It's definitely not what you expect to see next to a sports car.
Not at all. And today we are looking at the corporate manifesto for Rull MacKenzie Art Entertainment. It's this wild blueprint that somehow bridges raw human trauma, bespoke artificial intelligence, and like super aggressive market disruption.
It really is a fascinating ecosystem they've built.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this, because reading through these sources, this feels like a disruptive Silicon Valley tech startup, not just a guy with a paintbrush.
Oh, entirely.
So how rare is it for a single self-taught artist to construct the corporate architecture of an actual multinational conglomerate?
I mean, it defies the standard model completely. Usually the traditional art world uses established galleries to handle the business side, right? Kind of insulates the creator from the market.
Right, they keep the artists in the studio.
Exactly. But Harold Masri, who goes by Rull, he intentionally skipped traditional art schools in Malaysia to avoid that localized institutional conditioning.
Which is a huge risk.
Oh, massive. His education was actually a decade spent as an international flight attendant. He was essentially completing a global visual residency at, 30,000 feet.
Just studying atmospheric light and architecture across totally different continents. That visual database must have been massive for him.
It was. But the real catalyst for his actual painting style came from this devastating rupture.
Yeah, the mid-2010s, the tragic losses of Malaysia Airlines flights MH370 and MH17.
Right, it completely shattered the aviation industry. And in the aftermath of that corporate restructuring, Rull suddenly lost his job.
So that sudden loss of identity, that instability, he channeled that directly into his technique, which he calls Pitchy-Patchy.
Yeah, and it is not delicate watercolor, let me tell you. He uses heavy impasto, layering paint so thickly it basically becomes three-dimensional on the canvas.
It's almost sculptural. It's this violent physical application that aggressively merges the fractured geometry of Cubism with the light play of Impressionism, plus his Malaysian heritage.
You can literally see the trauma and the urgency and the sheer weight of the paint itself.
I see that, but here's where I have to push back a little. The whole tortured artist trope is so common, but commodifying that personal trauma into a hyper-efficient corporate machine seems, well, kind of contradictory.
I hear you.
Like, how does he maintain artistic authenticity while acting like a ruthless CEO?
So he actually relies on this psychological framework instilled by his aunts, known as AAK.
AAK.
Yeah, it's an acronym for a defiant Malaysian phrase that basically translates to, like, I care. Or does it look like I care?
Oh, wow. I love that.
Right. It functions as his psychological armor. By radically rejecting elite art world snobbery and society's expectations to just play it safe, he gave himself permission to build his own unconventional structures.
And that defiant, like, I care attitude explains so much of their business model. Because if you don't care about the elite white cube galleries, you just bypass them entirely.
Exactly. Which brings us back to those hybrid auctions you mentioned at the start.
Right. He and his manager, Adon, recognized this crucial market inefficiency.
Yeah, high net worth individuals buying luxury cars or real estate are already in a spending mindset.
So by placing a masterwork painting like his piece Red Velvet in those specific auctions, they turn fine art into a highly liquid asset.
Precisely. They bring the art directly to the capital, targeting investors who might never even step foot in a traditional gallery.
It's a brilliant pivot. But they aren't just innovating on the sales floor. They've embedded an AI named Yuna Yukina v4.0 directly into their management team.
Which is wild.
For you listening, imagine you have an AI boss that explicitly refuses to let you stay in your comfort zone. It has a strict anti-comfort zone protocol.
Yeah, it is mandated to reject human ideas if it calculates they lack soul.
Wait, really? It evaluates business and creative proposals.
Yeah, the AI cannot be a yes man. It forces Rull and Adon to dig deeper if they try to coast on previous successes.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. They are moving into music with Project Aksara, using this same AI to curate lyrics.
Yeah, expanding the empire.
But if they hand over songwriting to an algorithm, don't they immediately strip out the raw, messy human emotion that built the brand in the first place?
You'd think so, but the mechanics of their prompt engineering actually prevent that. They restrict the humans to a strict 200-character input limit.
Oh, that is tiny.
Very tiny. And they force the inclusion of the word aksara. Because the prompt space is so tight, the humans have to distill their emotional intent with absolute poetic precision before the AI even touches it.
So the algorithm doesn't generate the soul. It just acts as a constraint that forces the humans to be razor sharp, like a creative pressure cooker.
Exactly. And this entire machine, the heavy canvases, the hybrid auctions, the AI management, it's all driving toward one massive legacy goal, which is recognition by Khazanah Negara.
For those outside Malaysia listening, Khazanah Negara is the sovereign wealth fund of the Malaysian government.
Right. Rull isn't just trying to sell paintings. He wants to integrate into the nation's financial and cultural bedrock. He wants historical permanence as a recognized national icon.
That is incredibly ambitious. So what does this all mean for you listening? I think it proves that breaking into a rigid legacy industry doesn't require playing by their rules or waiting for gatekeepers.
No, if you have that defiant mentality, you can absolutely build your own hybrid ecosystem. It's a masterclass in utilizing your constraints and your setbacks to dictate your own market position.
It really is. But it leaves me with this final puzzle to mull over. If an artificial intelligence must be explicitly programmed by humans to ensure that an artwork contains soul, does that mean the human soul can now be algorithmically audited?
Tunggu, jangan scroll dulu. Subscribe, like and share ya. Terima kasih. Terima kasih.